Joolse here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some embossing. So these are leaves and they've been double and triple embossed with different embossing powders. Flowers, I've just used a die cutting machine just to cut these out. Some of them are just on paper, some of them are on card. And it's just to give different effects. So what I do is I've got an old embossing pad. I've had it for years. I've just re-inked it and I just press my flower on, and I can tell it's all, because I can see it's like it's like a glycerine type stuff that holds the embossing powder. Now what I'm putting on is it's a pearlized, it's heritage embossing powder, violet by rubber stamp, heritage by rubber stamp, and it's violet pearl. So I just put plenty of it on, probably putting too much on, but try and keep my fingers out of it because my fingers have got embossing powder on, embossing stuff on them, so it will stick. Put that back in there. And I'm going to use my heat gun, but I'm also going to use some of this. This is the Blonde Moments Sugar Dumpling Embossing Powders, and this is Sweet Cool Iridescent, and it's like a purpley colour, and that's what I've used on that one. So I'm going to take the lid off that one. Be careful when you have your lids off. So as you can see, that wasn't very successful. It was a little bit. You can see the, I don't know whether you can get there. You can get there, and there's a bit of the purple seen as this. Yeah, that's what it started off as. So you can see these are quite fiddly. So what I'm going to do is I've got a Whispers embossing pen, and I'm just going to go around there. And this of course makes the embossing powder stick, and it is probably better. As you can see, there it is. If you don't have an embossing pen, you can always use your embossing pad and use like a Q-tip and just sort of like put it on and then, you know, rub it on the whatever you're going to emboss. And we'll put a bit more in the middle. And some around the edges, because I'm going to use the violet pearl again. And I'll just turn the paper over. It's just, these are just bits of paper that I've been using when I've been checking the ink in my printer. So it's just checking the printer heads. Oh, I've got a fly that wants to be embossed. So there you can see there's just a little sprinkling. Right, you have to be very careful because it does go quite molten. And you can, on a solid, I'll do one on the leaf, you can move the leaf about and get the embossing enamels to mix. So I'm quite happy with that one. We'll do a solid one. So you can see that it's turned. You can see it's, and I think what we'll do is we'll put a bit of this. This is Sweet Floss Iridescent. Again, it's Blonde Moments. The lid's missing out of that one, so we'll do some lines like what you get on a flower. Do the middle. Yep. Ah, right. Be careful because it stuck some of the This is an old pen anyway, that's why I'm not that bothered about it. It's not really leaving anything on there, but I'm going to put some more violet pearl. And there's not a full coverage, but there is some coverage. Right, just let me... Right, I'm pointing the gun away from my fingers. There you can see. And then you can bend these the way you want them. Obviously you don't want them too three journal, they're going to get flattened anyway. Right, so we'll do some leaves. I'll do this big one. And I'm going to use some emerald green luster. This is Cosmic Shimmer. And blue pearl. And what I want to do is I want to decorate one of the pages with some cherry blossom stencils, and then just put some of these leaves and flowers on the page, but leave enough just so you can journal. But this is stuff I had from my demonstration days when I did card crafting. I was just wanting to use some of it up. I mean, we all probably have embossing powders and things that are just sitting there, so why not use them in our journals? Alright, so I'm just took a bit of that off. Try this one. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm doing a line. Oh, wait till the enamel dries or cools down at least. You can see where I've just, the enamel's that hot, it's just scraped it, so it is still quite hot because it's, I'm leaving fingerprints in it. I'll try this one. My fingers obviously had embossing on, but it doesn't matter. So it's, and there you can see, that's red hot, be careful. Yeah, you can see the veins. I'm trying to look at it through my camera to see the light. I think you can see it there. And that's all you need to do. And obviously I've put my great big paws in it again, so we've got some nice finger marks. So I'm just, you don't have to do this. What you can do is you can just reheat it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put what else did I put on that? Put a little bit of dark blue. So this is Enchanted Blue Pearl. These are just all the funky embossing powders I used to get to play with. Just a little bit out of the norm. You can see. So we'll hold that down now. So there you can see it. It's moved it a little bit because it is quite thick now, the embossing on that. So you can see the veins, and you can see where I've put the dark. So I mean, you can do it with everything. I've done it with like gold, and this green has like a slight gold tinge, but I just thought it would look nice with the on the nice blue pages. So that's that. I'll do a double embossing one where you do the whole thing double embossed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some, use the Cosmic Shimmer Emerald Luster on it first. Alright, so that's single embossed. Now I'll just let it cool down and then we'll double emboss it. I'm going to dip it back on, put some more of that on, then I'll drop some of these on. So I'm just checking that it's, need to wait till it has cooled down. And then we'll put it back in. You can get the embossing dabbers now, which are probably better. I need to invest in one, because then you can just dab it over the top, which is probably better, rather than dipping it in and getting your fingers all. So that's covered that. And what I want is some paper, it's my granddaughter. Oh, I don't know whether you can see what I've done there. Right, let me move some of these out of the way. So what I've got is I've got some of that mint on there and I want to keep it separate. So that's it, double embossed. You can see it's got like a nice luster on it. Now I'm going to heat it again and put some more of that on it. Just the end. So what happens with some of the embossing powders, right, this is molten and in my hands, is they have like a white residue in them, and I think the melt dust does, and what it's done is when I've reheated the tip, it's caused the white bit, but it's fine. And because there's a luster on that one, that looks quite dark, but I quite like the effect that's given. So I'm going to put some on this end. And I'll hold it. And there you can see. So it's just, so I've got a nice mottled leaf, so it goes with the others that I've done, and they'll go with the flowers. So I hope you get something out of that. And if you've got a load of embossing powders at home, just go and play. But just be careful with the heat gun that you don't melt your fingers. Always put your lid on. If you're not confident in keeping your heat gun pointed one way, away from your embossing powders, just put the lids back on. You can always re-emboss it with embossing pad or pen. Use a Q-tip if you haven't got an embossing pen, or if you've got the embossing stamps. So what I'll do is I'll just rearrange them. And we have another one here, and there we have it. So I won't put all them on one page, they probably go over 2 pages. But thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.